Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is June the 5th, 2026. We have NBA Finals game number 2, and we have 3 WNBA games for today. We're going to jump right into it, man. We're going to jump right into it as we always do. As far as yesterday goes, really good day. Atlanta, Indiana under the 174.5. Never was close. Minnesota minus the 2.5. It took a little bit of work. They were losing at the end of the first quarter, losing at halftime. Won the third, won the fourth, ended up winning the game by 3. I think that game did close 3.5 as well. And then Courtney Williams over her 14.5 points was a winner as well. So 3-0 yesterday. If you guys got involved, I also thought that Indiana was the right side. I just couldn't push the button on Indiana. But they played defense the way that I thought they would. A lot of regression from the Atlanta Dream side of things. Ryan Howard went under her points prop, I'm pretty sure as well. So yeah, it was a good day yesterday, man. Hopefully you guys found some ways to make money. We'll jump into it for today. And I did bet a couple things already. Some of the lines have moved. My apologies for that. But let's jump into it. So we start off with Jackson, AI Sports Betting Tool, linked in the description as it always is. Today I wanted a very specific prompt, and I wanted the prompt to be based on some regression or positive or negative progression, whatever you want to call it. So the prompt was based on performances of game one of the game 1 NBA Finals. Which 2 player props have the most room for either positive or negative regression, making them strong plays for game 2? Be sure to share detailed analysis. So Jackson tells me the game 1 of the NBA Finals definitely gave us some statistical outliers that are ripe for regression in game 2, whether it's a star player shooting way above their shooting averages or a role player whose usage spiked unexpectedly. Identifying these swings is the key to finding value for Friday's game. So we look at regression analysis. It looks like De'Aaron Fox is the first one on the board over his 1.5 threes. Jackson says that he's the premier candidate for positive regression in game 2. In the series opener, Fox was uncharacteristically poor, finishing with just 7 points on 3 for 13 shooting, including 0 for 4 mark from behind the arc. Statistically, this was a massive outlier. Fox averages 1.7 threes per game on the season, and it's hit the over 1.5 line in 50% of his 89 games this season played. Okay. Despite his poor shooting in game 1, the quality of looks Fox generated was high. He played 38 minutes, maintaining his standard 27.2 usage rate, which ensured the volume will be there tonight as well. Historically, favorites coming off a disappointing postseason, loss. Bounce back at a high rate. The zigzag theory shows the teams in this spot are 288, 213, and 13 against the spread since 2005, with the Spurs expected to be more physical at the point of attack, and Fox due for some shooting correction. His plus money price for just 2 triples is a significant market mispricing. So De'Aaron Fox over 1.5 3-point makes, you can get this at plus 140 right now. It looks like the best look is on BetMGM. The next one, which I don't know about this one. The next one is Victor Wembanyama under 26.5 points. It says Victor is a prime candidate for negative regression in the scoring column. I don't know about this one. While he finished game 1 with 26 points, that number was heavily inflated by the massive 13 free throw attempts, converting 12. He struggled immensely on the floor, shooting just 28.6%, 6 for 21. It is highly unlikely that he repeats that level from the free throw line tonight, as finals officiating tends to tighten up after a physical opener. I don't know about that one, man. Taking them under. Talked about Karl-Anthony Towns' defense against them as well. I'm not going to read all of it, but those are the 2 looks. Wemby under and De'Aaron Fox over. Wemby under his point, De'Aaron Fox over his 1.5 threes. All right, let's get into it for today. That is Jackson. Check it out. Linked in the description of the video. So we got Knicks and we got Cavs. We'll start with the NBA. Game number 2 tonight. In game 1, as a matter of fact, let's just skip straight to it. So line, I think it's 5. Yeah, it's 5.5. There are a lot of 6s out there as well. Let me just double check real quick. Make sure. Yeah, a lot of sixes. It looks like it's moved to 6 on most books. They're like 2 5.5s, up to 6.5 on a couple books as well. And we're kind of open. Total 214.5, 215.5. This one did open up slightly lower than the last one. After we saw just 200 points and scored in the last one, it was 95 to 105, right? So I actually put together a couple graphics. This was the first one that we talked about with all of the numbers, the same one that I shared on Wednesday for game 1, right? These are just all of the playoff numbers between both the Knicks and the Spurs. So you can go in here and look for discrepancies or, figure out who you think has advantages. So screenshot this again if you guys are interested in comparing it to game 1 numbers. But let's just get right into game number 1 numbers. So here's game 2 preview. You can see that, offensive rating and defensive rating for both teams. Knicks end up winning the game really just behind that third quarter. It was all about when Victor Wembanyama was subbed out for Luke Cornett, who, was just kind of abused by Karl-Anthony Towns. And then Karl-Anthony Towns grabbed a bunch of offensive rebounds, and Keldon Johnson was a part of that, as well. But we really saw the Knicks, just come out and throw the first punch, which I predicted. We had plus 4.5, and that was a winner. Now in game number 2, I think we see a flip, right? Like, I don't think that the Knicks will be able to steal both games, right? We talked about it being an emotional win, but San Antonio in game number 7 against OKC, they came out the way that I thought that they would, even though they were winning. Knicks came out through the first punch. San Antonio responded, took I think it was a 13, 14-point lead. And then you see the Knicks, able to, even though Brunson got hurt, able to, go in there and, have a really, really strong end of the third quarter and fourth quarter. So a couple things I kind of think that will regress here. So the negative shooting variance for both teams, I actually think that this game goes over as well. The Knicks didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but the San Antonio Spurs shot it even worse. If you just look at the numbers, the Spurs were just 26% from the three-point line, 11 for 43. Outside of Champagnie, it felt like nobody was really knocking down threes. So we'll see if the look for Jackson is a good one in this game. Also, just like kind of settling in and making a couple adjustments. I think there was like a stat that I looked at that was talking about the shot probability and how the San Antonio Spurs shot 10.1% worse than the expected field goal percentage based on the looks that they were getting. And that's the second largest gap of the season and the worst in the postseason. So I do think there's some offensive regression coming on the San Antonio Spurs side of things. Not that don't want to discount the Knicks because they have been a really, really good defensive team, but I don't think that they'll win this game. And I think it's a bounce back spot. I think San Antonio will try to play fast. They had 16 transition points in the first half, which was tied for the most in any finals game since 2013. But then they, slowed down a little bit. And I think they'll rely on getting out and pushing the ball. I also think they do a little bit better job of protecting the paint. Whenever they are outscored in the paint, they typically do not play well. Only 3 and 6 when they give up 40 points or more in the paint. And I think we see them do a little better job of protecting the paint. We'll see if the Knicks can knock down their threes in this game. I also don't think that I think we'll see a little bit of regression from Karl-Anthony Towns, who really, he kind of dictated the game in the last one. 18 points. I think he had 12 boards in that game. So yeah, and I think the Spurs bench will play a little bit better as well. They didn't play well in that game. Keldon Johnson didn't do much outside of Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper was amazing. So yeah, I think we see a amount of aggression here. Aggression for the San Antonio Spurs and regression for the New York Knicks. So I am on San Antonio minus I got a 5.5. That's what I like in this game. As far as the total, again, I would look over. I didn't bet the total though, but I would look over. I think just because both teams want to play so fast, we see more points in this game than not. Real quick, if I transition over to outlier, looking at the game from my lens, I think that game from a player prop perspective, I think you go with Stephon Castle in this spot. So if we look for Mr. Castle, I like Castle assist prop in this game because I think San Antonio's offense is going to be better. And if you think that they're going to play as fast as they did in game 1, or faster, which I think it'll be played faster, then you think that, Castle assists will look pretty good as well. So this is outlier pinned in the description, as it always is. Stephon Castle assists sitting at 6.5. You can see that he did go under in 4 of his last 6 games. We got to remember that this was game 5, 6, and 7 of the Western Conference Finals. I'm sorry, these were 5, 6, and 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Only went over in one of those games, but this was more so about potential assists, and this I know that the minutes will be there, right? So if we just look at, we can stay with his last 10. We can see that he's averaging 14.5 potential assists. In game 1, we saw 14 potential assists in that game as well. And that's a big part of it, in my opinion. He finished game 1 with just 3 assists, but again, you can see that, down here, he did have 14 potentials. If you think that he's going to continue to run the offense, which I do, if we look at the minutes, we can see that he did play 34.5. I don't think he'll be the person that comes out. They need him, to be able to slow down Brunson and for his defense, along with his facilitation on the offensive end. Then I think he goes over the 6.5 assists. One thing I looked at was just games that he's had 14 or even 13 potential assists. He's over in 6 of his 8 games, averaging 8 assists per game. So I think there's a little bit of meat on the bone here for Stephon Castle, especially getting to that plus money, which is plus money on a couple books right now. But I think Stephon Castle, FanDuel got it at plus 100, Kashi got it at plus 101, and then Profit X and Novig at plus money as well. But yeah, I think Castle is able to score, because I do think it'll be point. I think he'll help facilitate. I think it'll be points in this game. So that's my favorite player prop on the board for today. I think we see a little bit of regression, which is already kind of baked in the line for Josh Hart being able to rebound the basketball. He had 15 boards in that game. Not that he's not one of the better rebounders on the floor, but I think we see a little bit of regression from Josh Hart. He had 15, 16 boards in that game, and his rebounds are listed at 8.5. So I think we see a little bit of regression there as well. But that'll be it for NBA. I got San Antonio minus 5.5 in that one. The next one up, and we transition over to the W, get to my notes, update the injury reports, make sure I got all that right. And we'll dive into the WNBA. First game up we have is the Connecticut Sun and Chicago Sky. So Connecticut has Aaliyah Edwards listed as out, and then Kennedy Burke listed as game time decision. Kennedy Burke is dealing with illness, so we'll see if she's able to play. 7 points, 3.5 boards. They kind of need her out there, especially if they're not going to have Aaliyah Edwards, in my opinion. On the Chicago side of things, they could potentially get Gabby Jaquez back. She has missed the last few games. No Dejanay, no Courtney Vandersloot. And Chicago's been terrible, man. They have been absolutely horrible. I thought that they were in a pretty good bounce back spot, a couple nights ago when they traveled to DC because they were playing against a lesser, more inferior opponent. But I did bet this one. I bet Chicago. I bet Connecticut. I can't lay with Chicago. This line being it was 7.5 yesterday. It's no way possible, man. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you see teams absolutely let up, but I think Connecticut coming off that loss to Atlanta, which they played really, really good throughout 3.5 quarters. And the fourth quarter came and they just couldn't score the basketball, and they were allowing, this the Atlanta Dream to get out and run in transition. And Atlanta started making shots in the fourth quarter. I look at Chicago. I don't see that. You can see that they're the third worst offensive rated team. They haven't won a game since Rakia Jackson got hurt. 0-4 straight up and against the spread at home. So for whatever reason, they haven't been able to win games. Just 3-6 ATS on the season. 5 straight losses for them. Connecticut is not great, right? 1-6 straight up, 2-5 against the number. And it's a brutal travel spot because it's their 7th game of their last 8 being played on the road. And they've lost 4 of their last 5. And they've only covered 1 of their last 5. But, give me 7.5 points, expecting a blowout for Chicago. Not for my money, man. Not for my money. I looked at Connecticut when they were playing teams that are under 500 this season. They only 1-3 straight up, but 2-2 against the number. They're losing by average of 6 points. So I bet Connecticut. I think that they can get the job done. Lacan is back. She looked amazing in that first half. Brittany Griner is out there. I don't know if it was just because she was playing against Atlanta, the team that she used to play for last season, and them kind of letting her walk, or what it was. But she looked decent, especially in the first half. 7.5. I couldn't lay that with Chicago. I did bet Connecticut in this game. We'll see what happens. Player prop wise, nothing. Didn't look at anything in this game. But yeah, Chicago, you can see even defensively they've gotten really, really bad. And Connecticut is a -16 in net rating, and Chicago's only a -6. But putting Chicago as a 7.5 point favorite against anybody sounds diabolical right now. So Yeah, give me Connecticut. I did bet this yesterday. When the lines came out, I had to do a double take because I was like, ain't no way possible. But that's what it's listed at. And right now, it looks like the best number is 7. And I would still play that. Well, you can get a 7.5 on FanDuel right now. So it's still 7.5. Has come down to 6.5 on a couple books. All right. Hit the like button for me if you can. Subscribe to the channel if that's something that you are also interested in. And let's keep going. Next up, the Phoenix Mercury will be in Portland tonight. And this line opened with Phoenix laying 1.5 points on the road. And this was another one that was kind of head scratching to me. But I'll be honest with you guys. I have not done the greatest job of getting to these lines early. Like, just for whatever reason, when they come out, I have not been sharp as far as, like, sometimes, especially if you follow me last season, I did a much better job of getting to the lines early. This season, I have not done so. Yesterday, though, I'm looking at, midday, seeing if lines are available, and they were. And I'm thinking to myself, Phoenix, first off, the first thing that always throws me off is when a team is laying like less than a possession or two, and they are road favorites. That lets me know that the home dog has a chance to win the game. And I think Portland definitely had a chance to win the game, even with them getting 1.5 points. However, the line is moved now. This line is moved. It shifted a lot to 2.5. They're actually laying 2.5 points. And even before the injury report, because Alyssa Thomas is listed as game time decision, and I think Kalia Copper is listed as doubtful in this game. She's been really their only offense. 18.5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal a game. And she's probably not going to play today. We'll see if she plays. And Alyssa Thomas is also listed as questionable due to a left calf strain. Even with those two in the game, though, because I capped this game before, like, I can't lay points with Phoenix right now. They're 2-4, both straight up and against the spread on the road. Just 2-8 overall. 4 straight non-covers. They didn't cover the game against Seattle, even though they did get us a win because we bet double result. And it's a bit of a tough travel spot for them. 3rd straight road game. They come home for 1 game against Minnesota. They get smoked in that game. Then they go right back on the road to Seattle. And now they're in Portland just for 1 day in between. So I think Portland is the right side in this game. Of course, you want to wait on the injury report because the number will come down if Alyssa Thomas gets ruled in or if Kalia Copper gets ruled in. But regardless of that, Phoenix is not this Portland team is not a great team. Only 4-3 straight up, 3-4 against the spread at home, 5-5 ATS overall. But they're coming off an 18-point loss to Golden State. They haven't lost back-to-back games this season. That was another thing I looked at. 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the number, and 3-4 they've been dogs in, which they started this game as a dog. They beat the Libs in Portland, and they just came off a win against the Indiana Fever at home as well. I think they can beat this Phoenix team as well. So biggest rest disadvantage. Portland has the advantage in 3-point shooting. They're top 5 as far as percentage wise goes, and Phoenix is the worst team in the league in as far as attempts go, and allowing their opponent to shoot 3-pointers. 3-point percentage as well. The problem, if you like Seattle in that last game, is that Seattle can't shoot the ball. And then behind home court, being behind their home court, coming off the 18-point loss, I think that they can get the job done here. I bet Portland yesterday at plus 100 on the money line. That line, of course, is far gone now, but I do think Portland wins the game. But problem is, you kind of want to wait on the injury report. You can get a better number with Portland. But yeah, Portland at the crib on a Friday night, man. I like Portland in this game. All right, next one up is Dallas and the Sparks. So this one, you did kind of want to wait on the injury report, but I'll tell you guys what I thought before that as well. So we have on the Dallas side, Leah Ruth. She's listed as game time decision. She's really, really big. They need her down there, in my opinion, to kind of clog up the paint a little bit. And she can spread the floor and knock down some shots. She's not playing a ton of minutes, but she's been impactful, in my opinion. All right. So LaRuth is listed as, what is she listed as? Game time decision. She's questionable due to a left ankle injury. And then Kelsey Plum is going to make her return. So she's probable. And that's when this line started to move. So yesterday she was at 4.5. Dallas was laying 4.5 on the road in this spot. And now that line has come all the way down to the 1. And the total has been bet all the way up. And this is the total that I missed. So this was at 171.5 yesterday. Crazy. Kelsey Plum gets rolled in. This total goes up. Actually, it was at 167.5 on DraftKings. So this total has moved. You could say it was 167, and Yeah, it's moved almost 11 points. It's kind of crazy. So I don't want to focus on the total just because it's moved so much. And with Kelsey Plum being back, of course, it should go up. But however, I think Dallas can win this game. I do. I do think that, again, I'm always kind of a little shaky on teams, laying a point on the road. It lets me know that the home dog is, does have a absolute, a chance to win the game. But this Dallas team has looked really, really good recently. They're 3-1 straight up and against the number on the road. 6-3 overall. They won 3 in a row, and they've covered all 3 spreads. They have 3 days off in this spot as 3 days off in this spot as well. So they haven't played in 3 days. I think they beat Seattle, and that was a pretty easy win in their last game. They were laying double digits, and now you got the Sparks at home, just 1-4 when they play in LA. They haven't covered a game at home at all. 0-5 against the number. Back-to-back losses to Vegas and Connecticut in their last 2 games, and they've struggled to score without Plum. Going under in back-to-back games, failing to hit 81 points in either one of those games. And if you're Dallas, you eventually want to turn the tide. I was looking at this yesterday. The Sparks have actually lost. Sparks have actually owned the Dallas Wings. They won 5 games in a row when these 2 teams are matched up going back, to last season. I do feel like Dallas is the better team. I think that, Kelsey Plum, she hasn't played in about a week. Her coming back, we'll see what she looks like. But Dallas is the better offensive rated team. You can see here 1st to 8th. Defensive rated team 4th to 15th, net rating 2nd versus 12th. Not that the Sparks won't try to come out with something because they absolutely need to, but I think that Dallas gets the job done here. I like Dallas in this spot. If I'm playing, I'm laying. I have not bet it yet. We'll see what the injury report looks like, but yeah, Dallas has been by far the better team, and I think they can get the job done here again as well. Yeah, and that is going to be it as far as recap goes. San Antonio, the green things are things I bet. I did bet San Antonio minus the 5.5, Connecticut plus the 7.5, just an outrageous line with Chicago, in my opinion. And then I did bet Portland Fire plus 100, and that does nothing for you guys. But I would wait on the Portland game to see if Alyssa Thomas gets ruled in. Maybe we've seen crazier things happen. Maybe Clear Copper gets upgraded, and then I like the Castle over his assist prop. I don't know if I'll end up playing double in that game, but I also like the over if I'm betting in the NBA game as well. And then Dallas minus the 1.5. You can get Dallas minus 1 on Caesars at the time of this recording. So that would be the best number. Definitely don't lay the 1.5. Take the money line, honestly, if you like the Dallas side as well. And that'll be it, man. I hope you guys found the show useful. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Just make sure you guys are subscribed. Drop your best bet in the comments section as well. Let me know what you guys are betting. And check the resources out. Jackson, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam, all of these things are what I use to handicap NBA, WNBA on a daily basis. That'll be it for me, man. Enjoy the Friday. Enjoy the weekend. I will catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.